guys, we're back for another Dokkan battle video. Today we're going to take a look at this guy right here. This is the newest EZA that is in JP Dokkan. Now, keep in mind, right, we are getting two free-to-play EZAs. This, you know, Super Saiyan Goku, you know, the one that just returned to Earth from Yardrat. I think his sticker actually does look pretty good. And then, of course, there's also the STR Android 18. Now, these characters are very likely going to be required for some LR Prime Battle EZA. Probably some Android/Cell Saga unit. I think LR Trunks is very possible that you'll need some of these characters to get him done. We'll see, right? We'll see how they're going to go ahead and do it. Maybe they'll EZA LR Trunks and LR Super Saiyan Vegeta from the Android Saga at the same time. I don't know. It's hard to say for sure, right? But this Goku looks like he could be pretty good. I think he's actually pretty solid. Let's go ahead and take a look at him. He is a counter unit. Even with 13,000 attack, which, again, for a counter unit is not exactly great, right? Like, I've found counter units to be impressive when they're at, like, 20,000 attack on LRs, right? So, we're running him on the Kamehameha team right here. His link set, Saiyan Warrior Race, Saiyan Lineage, Kamehameha, Experienced Fighters, Super Saiyan, Shocking Speed, and Shattering the Limit. So he counters, but only as the second or third attacker in the turn. That ability is not really that bad anyway, because this guy, I mean, let's take a look at his defense. This guy sucks in slot 1. Because he does get a 50% chance to dodge as the first attacker in the turn, but for some reason, they count dodging and guarding separately. Guarding characters get to guard right away, right? But dodging characters have to attack first. So that kind of cucks this Goku out a little bit right here, right? You don't really want to be running this guy in slot 1 anyway. This guy is definitely, I think, more so of like going to be like a floating unit on the Android/Cell Saga team. You know, maybe you could find some spot like rotations for him on, like, you know, Kamehameha or something like that. Like, you know, depending upon the event you're jumping in, maybe you could utilize him. So he's at 69k defense right there, which is not that impressive. But he does get 30% defense on his super attack effect. And he gets 59% defense when doing his super attack. And then in that turn, he builds up 20% attack and defense up to 59%. And crit chance with every attack performed. Well, I guess that is good, because that means it's not attack received, but performed. So if you... Man, that sucks, because you really want additionals for this guy, so you could really get that extra defense, but he's a counter unit. Like, his main draw is being a counter unit, so you have to go full crits for counter units. You have to, or else, like, you're actually, like, I think for the most part, many units in the game doing their hidden potential spreads are, like, it's overrated how much of a big deal it actually is. All right, hold on, let me see what Goku does right here. That 2.31 right there. I mean, that's with counters. Let me see what these counters are gonna look like. Okay, well, that sucks. Okay, how much will this do? That's enough. Oh, his defense I think is pretty good. And we only got hit once right there. Okay, all right. Well, we didn't see the counter. Honestly, he barely took damage right there, so I feel like his defense was pretty good. But yeah, again, I feel like the hidden potential system spreads for many characters are actually quite overrated. I feel like a lot of people, like, care a little bit too much. I'm not talking about something like LR Janemba. Like, I probably did build him like that. That's not what I would recommend players build their characters the way I built Janemba. I'm not referring to that, right? I did that specifically because I'm utilizing Janemba to help me no item stages, right? So that's why I built Janemba like that. But I'm talking about, like, I don't know, like, what's a good AGL LR Gohan right here, right? This guy does really good damage with crits. He stacks as well. Like, I feel like you could potentially, you know, build a case towards either additionals or crits for this guy, right? At this point in the game's life cycle, I probably would go full additionals for Gohan if I was rainbowing him today. But, you know, it's whatever. Additionals, crits, I don't know that it really matters too much, right? I feel like LR Roshi is a similar thing, where additionals can be really good, because Roshi gets the massive attack buff on 18-key super attack to 620% right there. And then that would allow additionals, even his 12-key, to hit very hard at that point. And with his 12-key, you know, you can additional with him, and then you have a 70% chance to stun. But he does so much damage that crits are really good too. Like, you can, like, really make cases for a lot of different builds for a lot of these characters like that. Not for counter units. Counter units, you've got to go full, you have to go full crit for counter, you must do it, right? And then characters that are super effective against all types, you really want to go additionals. There's very few characters in the game, though, where it's like, you know, you tweet me like, oh, is my, like, you know, spread good? And I'll say like, no, it sucks. Like, you counter units got to be full crit, all right? And then units that are super effective against all types, you typically want them, or units that can guaranteed crit or have a good chance to crit, you want them for additional. But for the most part, I think a lot of the times it doesn't really matter. Ki is definitely going to be an issue for this Goku, I think. Well, it depends, because this Gohan doesn't have Saiyan lineage. I mean, we ended up with kind of bad routes. I mean, this, every time I do showcases, this is the way it ends up, where the showcase unit is there with 2 of the like, you know, leader character. I actually have to use an item. Yeah, okay. The reason I wanted this rotation to play out, though, is because I wanted to see what this Goku is looking like without support. What is his defense right here? 58k. But again, he's getting a lot. 30% on super attack effect, 59% when doing a super attack, and then 20% defense with every attack he does, up to, you know, 3 attacks. That would count for counters, by the way, too. So as Goku is countering, progressively, he is going to be getting better defensively and offensively, which is interesting. All right, so let's go ahead and see. So 1.75, I mean, that's pretty horrible, honestly. But again, he works differently because he's a counter unit, right? So then here's his counter right there. Boom, 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 bitch! I do love that. That is very cool. Goku also does have a medium chance of stunning. I think he's good. I think he's just a nice, solid, free-to-play unit, right? The Android Cell Saga really does need the help. The problem for this Goku, unfortunately, is he's just on so many teams that don't need help whatsoever, dude, right? Like, he's on Pure Saiyan and Goku family, and it's like, honestly, like, I like extra additions to the Super Saiyan team, but like, I feel like Super Saiyan's gotten a lot of buffs recently as well. It's starting to look pretty good. Android Cell Saga, again, really does need him quite a bit. Kamehameha does not need him at all. And then Turtle School, I mean, we'll see when Turtle School is an actual legitimate category, which currently it is not. Well, let me just go based off of leader skill, right? Currently, Turtle School does not have, like, a legitimate leader ability unit, so, yeah, that kind of... we'll see. I think Turtle School, I think, eventually is probably going to become a premium team. I mean, if every Goku in the game is on there, right? So, it's gonna be sick at some point. LR Roshi is really good, right? Like, if they gave us some crazy, like, you know, Goku and Krillin card or something like that. Alright, so these 2 are going to work really well together, right? Yeah. But, see, this is the only thing about this Goku, is that, I mean, in some situations where maybe you'd want to take advantage of his damage, you can't, right? Like, at the end of the day, all I could do is base this Goku on where the enemy attacks are going to be. And it's, you know, we're only going to be able to get 1 counter right here. You know, like, it's the other thing with counter units can be very inconsistent for a number of factors, right? The amount of crits they get on counters, as well as where the enemy attacks are. Now, for the 10,000th time, too, I think counters as a mechanic is very overrated. I'm not talking about the LRs. SDR Vegito and in LR Vegito are exempt from what I'm talking about because their stats, not only do they have summonable LR attack stats, but then they get massive 150% attack buffs at the start of turn. Not the LRs, but most TURs. Physical Vegito Blue, after he starts super attacking, he can even penetrate high defenses. But, like, you know, a lot of these other counter characters, they're not as impressive as, you know, counters used to be, right? Alright, so let's go and take a look at what Goku's doing right here. What is our defense? 7. Oh, this is much better. Yeah, he looks good with the Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. By the way, I recorded the level 10 link video for Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, like, before the World Tournament. Haven't put it out yet. I'm probably just going to do a flood of level 10 link videos today. Because I did one for this Gohan. I got one done for Goku and Bulma as well, several of those characters. And I'll probably do some global, you know, EZA characters that are coming as well. Alright, so what do we got right here? 2.21. Again, we had a lot of his links active right there with this Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. Then here's our counter. And he's going to be able to do, well, without the crit, again, the damage is going to be pretty minuscule. Again, I don't know, like, I actually like how they built this guy. I think they did a pretty good job. Like, when he's over a 2 million attack stat, you know, and he's able to get 3 counters, his damage is actually going to be super crazy good for a free-to-play unit, man. Like seriously, like his damage numbers are going to be really good for a free-to-play unit. I think defensively, I think he's going to be able to hold up too. Like, you know, he is working a little bit under the LR Evolution Blue Vegeta and EGL Super Vegito kind of principle here, where just as long as he doesn't get supered right away, he's probably going to be good. But, you know, you guys get what I'm saying. Again, you know, global players, I already saw a lot of global players like the last 2 nights talking about now you guys are grinding these characters up and awakening them and leveling up their links and stuff like that. Remember, for Goku, you must give him full crits. Crit. Don't play around. I know, listen, I'm Mr. Yeah, see, again, we're only going to be able to get 1 counter. Like, every single turn, we're just getting cucked right here. There's not really too much you can do about that. That's the way, again, this is one of my arguments against counters. But you want to go full crits, right? You don't want to play around trying to get the additional buffs he can do, right? Because, again, he gets 20% attack and defense up to 59%, and then a 7% chance of crit within the same turn with each attack performed. So progressively, he's going to be able to get a better crit chance. Again, when it comes to counter units, though, no matter, unless they had like 50% chance to crit with every attack or something like that, I'm still giving counter units crit, because the difference between a crit counter and a non-crit counter is like 0 damage or like 500k at least. Like, it's a huge difference. You really must go full crits for these counter units for real. All right. We'll probably make this the last turn. I mean, this is going to be a good rotation. We have everything active except for Saiyan Lineage and experienced fighters right here. We got a decent amount of support, so we could see a good attack set from him. Again, like, you know, if you're in one of these events, is there a stage of Super Battle Road? I guess Pure Saiyan, but I mean, you could probably get away with this guy on Pure Saiyans if you're using, like, if you're heavily using items, and he's like your 7th unit. And you have the new Super Vegeta as your leader. Like, under all those conditions, you could probably utilize this guy in there, I guess. But what's interesting is many of the units that are, like, coming out right now, they are actually, like, you know, correlated to one of these new Super Battle rotations. Yeah, look at a 1 million counter right there. He crit and did over 1 million damage on that. So it's like, you could just see how you get, you know, 3, 4, 5 counters, and all of a sudden this Goku is looking pretty good. I like what I think they made his EZA good. And they geared him towards, like, you're not running him in slot 1, right? You're running him as a floater. I feel like a lot of the time, I feel like the Android / Cell Saga team, he's a nice addition to that team. That team, all of a sudden, you know, quite a bit better than it was just even like a week ago. So let me know what you guys think of this Super Saiyan Yardrat Goku. I think he seems pretty solid, right? Especially with EX equips being a thing, to where, like, you can more easily pile up, like, crits on some of these characters. Maybe I might consider doing that for this guy to really try and make him shine a little bit, but, you know, we'll see. Let me know what you guys think of Yardrat Goku. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch y'all next time.